I was watching this video and it inspired me to have this conversation with myself about how I truly felt about my past connection with a prior friend within my life. And to be honest about how that connection really shaped and challenged me throughout the years, and understanding that it's okay for me to be honest that I allow a man that was insecure within himself, that was still battling aspects of his sexuality, to hurt me and break me in ways that I wasn't willing to be honest about. As I sat with myself and as I had conversations with other individuals, sharing pieces about my experience without ever truly fully sharing the experience, because I felt like it was a part of my responsibility to, hold his sexuality and his identity. In this community, yeah, we all understand the importance of, not outing someone that isn't, already quote unquote out of the closet. So with that being said, I would like to share a little bit of my background, because by sharing a little bit of my background, it comes to the understanding of how this connection came to be. So, my name is Biazra Bunte. I come from a small town in Georgia, Bainbridge, Georgia, And in this small town, there's not many gay people. There's not many bi people. I'm a bisexual man. I went through my stages of am I bisexual, am I gay? I feel every bisexual goes through those stages of wanting to understand their levels of their bisexuality, of their fluidity. We all flow on different aspects of that spectrum as bi men and bi women. And so growing up, majority of my friends were straight. Growing up, majority of the people I was around were straight. The most closest I had to individual that I had like lifetime experience with as a gay person was my cousin Brittany, and she was a stud, but she wasn't a stud that negated that she was a woman or female, And so I didn't really have any true experiences with trans and transsexuals, and if that was an offensive word, my apologies. That's what how I came to terms with them. So with trans women, trans men, I'm just say that I didn't really have a lot of experiences with that until I got older. The only experiences I had with trans were how people felt about them when you see drag or genuine trans people on TV. People dressed up, men dressed up in women's clothes, or men that has transitioned to women, how people feel about them. Now I have my own personal experience. Although I say all that, let me not get off subject to say, you feel me, having these friends, having these experiences with individuals led me to have very, what's the word I'm looking for, homoerotic type of relationships with men. Because even though the majority of the people I was around were straight, I want to come in and speak in with the quotation marks. Because yes, these men that I was around growing up, this is what we all perceived ourselves as. As I came to understand my own sexuality, that shifted for me. Although the friends around me, I can't really say that I have too many friends that I'm bisexual, I'm gay, you feel me? Until I got older in high school or started branching out into different cities and stuff, I started meeting other people. Although growing up, all of my homeboys straight, you feel me? Although I came across a situation where they're straight, right? And so you have these different experiences with straight men, and then you continue to live in your truth, but they continue to want to shame themselves and hide from their truth and hide from how they feel and hide from the feelings that they feel with you. And they shame you and they project onto you. And I have to be honest with myself that I manifested that situation for myself with one of my closest friends. Not intentionally, of course, because who would want to have a situation where they're having to have such a chaotic experience with someone that they truly care about, right? Although growing up in a way where I'm not surrounded by leadership, surrounded by elders, surrounded by beings who can, share their experiences to me about the gay life other than me having a very promiscuous lifestyle. I was 15 years old, you feel me? I started having sex at 15. I lost my virginity to a girl first, and then I lost my virginity to a guy literally that same summer, you know? And so moving into high school, everyone that I was having sex with from the ages of 15 to 18 were over the ages of 18 years old. You know, of course, I hit a couple beings that was in my school and stuff, although growing up in that state from 15 to 18, I was a very promiscuous male. It taught me a lot. And through this time dealing with different men, these older men, is how I was learning about the gay life and the gay experience. I'm not condoning that. Of course, that was wrong. Although I don't shame these men, even though I will let them know, like if I see them face to face, I have let some know before, like, hey, yeah, you know that you was wrong, or right, you know that you was actually talking to a younger being. But although being in this community, being in this life, it's like when you are gay or you bi, we tend to have similar situations. I know there's many beings who can relate to what I'm saying, and they can think of situations where they had already. And so it's less about right or wrong and more about what happened, you know? In the midst of all of this, of me finding myself through sex, I didn't really have what I would say boyfriends or girlfriends in that matter, because after I came out, I had broke up with my girlfriend. And so, well, I broke up with my girlfriend first. Damn. Oh, I was rambling. It had messed up. My bad. I'm rambling because I'm getting off topic. What I was wanting to portray here is going back full circle and talking about how loving someone so much that you lose yourself into them, and them not recognizing how vulnerable you are, how open you are, how receptive you are to the things they say and do to you, and the things they don't say and do to you. This individual is somebody that even now I still cherish, I still love, I still care for. And I want to highlight to myself in this moment and to whoever's listening of the lesson that we're learning right now isn't to stop loving this person. We are learning to let go of the image that we created based on the potential that we created over these people. There is another man, another woman that's going through same sex situations that I am talking about right now. This is specific. Maybe it'll be a few straight people who relate to what I'm saying, although this is specific for same sex couples, because we experience a different type of life than straight people do. The way that we form romance and the way that we form partnership isn't the same, and that's okay. And we're navigating it. We have been learning to navigate on our own. We was having to navigate this life on our own. And because of that, not only did we make mistakes, we also fell in love in unconventional ways. We also had to come across unrequited love. We had to come across star-crossed love, like in the sense of like understanding that you have these strong feelings for someone, but they're not choosing you. And that's okay, because the lesson right now is for you to choose you, for me to choose me, for us to choose ourselves, to continue to choose ourselves. Regardless if this person come back or not, if they come back and you still are not choosing you, it's doomed to fail anyways. It's doomed to fail. Choosing you has been the lesson that we've been learning from this person. And by integrating this lesson, and you've been sitting down, you have been, because this is what I've been doing as well, I'm channeling, this is for the collective, this is for us. We've been sitting down, we've been actually taking the time to listen to ourselves as we're talking about this connection, and we can be honest and like, yes, this is genuine love. This is what we feel is true love. In this moment, hear me when I say true love doesn't negate the responsibility that you have to uphold your own reality. So that love may be true that you have for this person, although they reciprocating to you in a way that is deserving of you. In this moment in time in your life, are they willing to do the work that you're willing to do. It's not that they're not putting in work. Are they willing to put in work with you? And if the answer is no, or you don't know, then your only focus should still be you. Are you willing to put in the work for yourself to be in a position to even have the connection that you dream of and that you think in your mind, even if it's with that person or not? The thing about energy, that even if we feel this true love with this specific person, what we fell in love with is the energy. And that energy can be found in another form, because energy is not created or destroyed, it's transferred. And so if you are shifting, you're elevating, you're growing, the energy that you fell in love with shall also do that. Because if it's true and it's truly for you, it's going to continue to grow with and for you. It's going to do that without you having to do anything, because the energy is true, it's genuine, it's unique, it's yours, it's theirs, together. You have your own energy, they have their own energy, and you're upholding your own fields. We have also been feeling heavy lustful energy right now. Heavy lustful energy because we have been allowing our creative energy to go to waste. And so it's just flowing out of us. We just have an overflow of creative energy, and we want to create. And that shifts into lust and horniness when we're just letting it sit. And you're just letting it sit. You ain't doing nothing with the water. It's still water. Water needs to move. Moving water. Let that water move. Stop just letting your emotions clog up the creative space that you are needing to be in. It's okay to experience your emotions as you're creating, because of course that's going to happen. Emotions are always knocking at our door. Although, do not allow the emotion to come in and clog up your home. You let that motherfucker in and sit down and talk. So why that motherfucker coming in, clogging up your home? Why? Why is it doing that? Why you coming to throw your shoes off over here on the side of the door? You all in my refrigerator, eating my food. Who gave you permission to do it? Stop giving these emotions permission to rule your reality. See your home as your reality. Stop giving emotions the power to shift things like that. You have to be intentional in how you use your emotional body. It's a choice. It's not always a simple choice. It's not always an easy choice. Sometimes it's a complicated choice. Sometimes it's a challenging choice. Sometimes it may be hard. Other times it may be soft. It may feel easily more better for you to deal with your emotions when you are more calm than it is when you're angry. Although it's both moments of angry and calmness, you have to deal with your emotions. Mindfulness has to be practiced in every moment in time within this journey. And the beautiful thing about this love is that, yes, this person may have hurt you and you have hurt this person. Neither one of you was intentionally wanting to hurt each other. Both of you was wanting to be yourself. Both of you was being yourself. Both of you was learning. As a bisexual gay man dealing with a man who hasn't fully come into terms with his sexuality, you're bound to have friction. If one of you are more capable of standing in their truth, the one that is not will always feel like they're having to do more, and the one that is always feeling like that they're having to do less, having to shine down so this other person don't be dimmed out, like you don't outshine them. And when I mean that in the sense of your truth don't outshine their truth to the point that it collapses their light. So in those moments, or when your truth collapsed their truth, is those moments when you had that friction, because they was fighting for their sense of self, their sense of identity, which clashed with yours. What you do with this information is what you choose to do with it. In this moment, I feel for myself and for the individuals that's listening, I'm here speaking awareness and clarity on the situation. That's all we be needing, clarity from ourselves. We be needing to hear ourselves. We was gaslit by others and this person. Although through those trials of gaslighting, it's how you was also able to discern. The trials you're facing right now is to trust what you discern without needing a validation of an external source. Not an angel number, not a sign, not a color, not none of that, but a validation within self, a feeling of safeness in self, in the decisions that self make and how self see and what self know. You are in this cycle of who you are becoming and who you was. You're going to continue to be in that cycle until you break through that next threshold of who you are now. And who you are now is always who you are in the moment. The actions you make is exactly who you are. Judge yourself based on your actions. Judge others based on their intentions. That was a great quote that I heard, and it got challenged in this moment, and that's beautiful. It's your boy B.I.'s Rabante. I hope that this message flowed through as fluidly that it needed for others. It definitely did for me. As I'm talking, I'm listening to spirit as I'm speaking right now, and I'm gonna go back and rewatch this video because, as I said, it's not just for you guys, it's for me. Most importantly, I felt like when I start the video, I'm like, I'm gonna make this video and talk about myself for me. And as in the middle of the video, I instantly felt spirit tapping in, like, no, this is need to be heard to the public. And so these are moments of vulnerability for myself because I'm sharing pieces of myself to be judged by others. Although what Spirit just showed me today and reminded me of, because you have to have those reminders on your journey. That's okay, especially when you're growing into a being. You're growing to who you are. You're growing into your confidence and standing in your truth. Spirit said loud and clear, you feel me? The version that people have of you in their mind or how they thinking, that is only them versus them. Because if they don't know me, there's no way in hell they know how I feel about them if I ain't tell them or show them through my actions. So when people are projecting their things onto me, that is just how they feel about their self. And duh. And that's why I said I had to have that reminder. Ain't nothing wrong with the reminder, baby. Although, sending you guys all much love, light, darkness, and peace. You feel me? May ease always flow into your life. Your boy's out. Deuces.